Hello guys, welcome to my tutorial on how to make a basic TV using Maya, a 3D software created by Autodesk, just in case you wanted to know that. So yeah, in this tutorial we're going to be making a basic TV. I'll be going step by step, showing you how to make one, and I shall be telling you about the tools we're going to be using, and what they're used for, and why they will help us make this TV. This TV is only going to be basic, like I said, mainly just to introduce some of the tools and just so it's not overcomplicated, so there's not going to be any fancy stuff like beveling or smoothing up the objects or putting textures on and all that. It's going to be nice and simple to get you started using Maya. So before we do anything, we want to make sure that Maya is in polygon mode. To do this, you just got to go to this drop down menu over here, click on it and make sure it is in polygons. Usually when you open Maya for the first time it's in animation, but we don't want that because that's going to help us animate stuff and not create actual models. So make sure it's in polygons mode, and if it's already in polygons mode then you're good to go. Then over here in this pane, usually you end up seeing these icons straight away, but we're not going to be using any of those and they're not going to help us model the TV. So make sure that you're in polygons, the polygons tab, and if you are, you're going to see all of these pretty shapes with all these fancy looking icons. Don't worry about most of them because we're only going to be using this tool here and this object over here. Okay, so I'm now going to quickly talk over some of the tools we're going to be using. Okay, so the most important tool we are going to be using to make this TV is the Extrude tool, which is this icon here. With the Extrude tool, it helps you create new shapes onto new faces onto objects, and it can help you either shrink them down in size or you can move them around on the object. And if you extrude them again, you can also bring those faces outwards, or you can also make them inwards too. And so I'll just quickly do a demonstration on what I mean with all of that, just to help it make more sense. Okay, so if you hit the extrude button, you're going to be brought up with this, but I'm just going to quickly scale it down just to show you. So you can scale the face downwards like that, and you can also move it around like so. And if you extrude it again, like I was saying, you can bring that face outwards, or you can bring it inwards as well, which is pretty handy for when you're modeling well, more complex models, I'd say. There we go, got a nice little sort of walkie-talkie thing looking there. So that's the Extrude tool. The other sort of tool we're going to be using is Face Select. It's not a tool as such, but I'm just going to call it a tool. But with Face Select, you already seen me use it before, but to use Face Select, you press and hold down the right mouse button, and you hover your cursor over face, and once it's hovered over, you let go, and then you're going to see select an object is pretty different. Red means your cursor is over the object but it's not selected, but when you click on that face it turns green when your cursor is over, but if you put your cursor off of that face it then turns yellow, letting you know that it is selected but your mouse cursor just isn't on the face. So we're going to definitely be using it, but to get out of the face mode, you press and hold down the right mouse button and go back to object mode, so then you can just select the whole object instead of individual faces. The next tool we're going to be using is the scale tool, which is this icon over here, the cube with the 4 arrows pointing out of it. With a scale tool you can make objects either smaller in size, like all the way around, you can make them longer, you can make it wider, and you can also make it thinner. And the shortcut for the scale tool is R. Like that, you can see it's changed because I just pressed the R button, and that just is a lot quicker instead of all the time needing to click the button on the left. So that's pretty handy as well. And another tool we're going to be using is the move tool, which is this little button over here with a cone and the arrow. This does what it basically says on the tin. It just moves around your objects or faces. And it is also handy for when you extrude objects, so then you can put faces inwards or outwards, or you can move those faces around. The shortcut for the move tool is the W button. Okay, so we've now, well, I've just shown you the basic tools what you're going to be using, but I'm now going to actually show you how to model this TV. So make sure everything's set, and if it is already set, you're good to go. Okay, so step number 1, you want to make sure you click the cube button over here so you can insert a cube-like shape, but we're gonna make it so it's more of a rectangle. So we just put it into size what we want. First you just got to click and drag your left mouse button and put it into the size you want. Make sure that it's a rectangle like this, and then the second step we need to do is make the height. So just click and hold down the left mouse button again and just drag it upwards. So you got something looking like that. But if your shape is appearing like this, it's in wireframe mode. But to make it shaded like this, you just tap 5 on your keyboard, or you just click one of these icons up here. So once you got all that sorted, we want to then select the face of the top face of your little rectangle. Okay, so step number 2, we want to extrude this shape. So you go over to the extrude button and you click on that, so then you get these fancy little arrows and squares on your face. After that, we want to scale this face in, so you can either just press the scale tool on the left, which is the cube with the arrows, or you can press R on the keyboard. You then want to use this yellow cube in the middle to scale it in. So you just scale it in about like so, and you can make it a little bit thinner. And this is going to be used towards the stand. Okay, so now we want to move this one backwards a little bit, otherwise it'll just look a little bit awkward when this is completed. But just to make it look a little bit better, and to move it backwards, we're going to hit W on the keyboard, or you can use the scale button on the left, which is the cone of the arrows. We want to bring this face up a little bit, like so, and then we want to move it backwards as well, about here. After we've done that, we then want to extrude this face again. So we can, to access the previous tool, we can press G on the keyboard, or we can go and hit the extrude tool up above, and we then just want to scale it upwards like so. And then this will be part of the stand. If it's a little bit too thick, you can just go back by pressing Z, and you can whoops, just got to go back again. Then you can thin it a little bit if you want to, something like that. Okay, so sorry about the mistakes, but just got to extrude it upwards again, like so. And now, so that's your stand. Now we want to make a bit where the TV is going to be attached to and coming out of. So we're going to select this face again. We're going to extrude it, so we can either press the button up above, or we can press the G key on our keyboard. We then want to scale this shape down by using the middle cube. We then want to make it more square-like, so we're going to use the green one to change the size of it vertically, like so, something like that. Then we want to press W on the keyboard or the move button, and bring that up a little bit, like so. So now that's going to be where the TV comes out of. So that was step number 3, I believe. Now for step number 4, we're going to bring this out a little bit. So this is where the TV is going to be hooked up to. So that's your stand there. So with step number 4 now, I believe, we want to extrude this face again. So press G or the extrude button. Bring it out a little bit. And now with this face, we want to press R or the scale tool. And we want to use this cube here to bring it out a little bit. But now that TV looks really weird, looks more like a computer monitor. So we want a widescreen TV because that is the bomb these days, and it's all mainstream. So we want to just use this red, well, it should be red. Yeah, we want to use this one here to change the size horizontally. So now that does look a little bit better. So that's going to be the main bit of the TV. We then want to extrude that face again and use this arrow here just to give it a little bit of thickness so it actually looks more of a screen than some weird looking thing. So that was step number 4. Okay, so step number 5, we want to extrude this face again. We want to press R on the keyboard or use the scale tool button, and we want to use this yellow square in the middle to shrink it down a little bit so it fits roughly like that. And just one more step, so we press G again on the keyboard to use the previous tool, which is extrude, and then we just bring that face in a little bit like so. And that is a basic TV. Yeah, that's a basic TV. You can also, or if the size doesn't work out that well for you, you can easily just go back again by hitting Z a few times and just rescaling it. But if we go back to object mode, we can then move that whole shape around, and we can also scale it down to size as well. For if you're making an environment, you can use it as a nice little TV right there. So I hope this tutorial has helped you on how to make a TV in Maya, and also taught you some of the basic tools Maya has to offer. So that's the end of making a TV. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it was of help. So goodbye.